Let's get started with our big focus this hour on the account of the 10th International Day of Yoga. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's been in Kashmir for a two-day visit, participated in the yoga event called on the banks of the Dal Lake, along with more than 7,000 people. PM Modi also participated in empowering youth, transforming Jammu and Kashmir at the Sher-e-Kashmir International Conference Centre. The PM has said in the event that yoga can become a big source of income of Kashmir livelihood and can become a centre of attraction for tourists as well. PM Modi also launched 84 development projects in Jammu and Kashmir in his visit. These projects were worth 1,500 crore rupees. Now remember, this is the Prime Minister's first visit to Jammu and Kashmir after taking charge as PM for the third consecutive time. Joining us at this point is SP Vaid, former DGP Jammu and Kashmir. We also have Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, former DG Infantry, joining us. Amit Raina, author and Kashmiri Pandit, also joins us live. Gautam Mukherjee, senior journalist, is also with us on the broadcast. Amit Raina, let me begin with you first. A big statement that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made today, visiting Jammu and Kashmir so soon after taking over as Prime Minister for the third time, and also leading International Yoga Day celebrations from next to the Dal Lake in Srinagar. What is the message this sends out, and how big a boost will this be for yoga, India's soft power, and also tourism for J&K? Amit.
Visited Jammu and Kashmir. Probably one of the last visits he did to any state before the code of conduct came into place before the elections was Srinagar, Kashmir, and immediately after coming back to power, he has again visited Kashmir. So shows how important Jammu and Kashmir is within the scheme of Government of India and for Prime Minister himself, how keenly he is himself looking at the development that are happening in Kashmir. This is already also a message being sent to, see, Pakistan has been trying to foment trouble in Jammu and Kashmir and trying to tell the world that everything is not right in Kashmir. So I think there is a message being sent by Government of India and Prime Minister himself that everything is fine in Kashmir and Kashmir will continue to be in the path of progress. The other important thing is that yoga and Kashmir have a very significant connection. Patanjali, whose sutras and yogas are world-renowned, comes from Kashmir, and the connection of yoga in Kashmir has been immense. So I think celebrating and observing a 10th International Yoga Day from Kashmir also sends out a message on the connection of India and Kashmir being the fountainhead of knowledge, spiritual knowledge of India. So multiple messages being sent out, and the package of 3,300 crore clearly stresses the focus Government of India has in the development in Jammu and Kashmir. They want to bring it on par with the rest of India. Jammu and Kashmir has lost lots of things in last 35 years because of the terrorism that infested the valley and still infests parts of Jammu and Kashmir. So there has been focus and also by staying overnight in Jammu and Kashmir in Srinagar, I think Prime Minister also is trying to send a message of confidence to rest of Indians, because we also need to understand attacks on people, attacks on yatris creates fear. It can impact the tourism, which has seen huge inflows in Jammu and Kashmir, and it can impact the Amarnath Yatra, which starts another 10 days. So I think Prime Minister is also trying to instill confidence in the people of India that everything is fine in Kashmir, and neither the tourism nor the yatra should get impacted.
Absolutely. And the fact is, Gautam Mukherjee, today was not just a local event. It was not just a domestic event. It was an international event. It was International Day of Yoga, which has come about after India's insistence, after India led the effort to get it declared. And with the world looking, PM Modi was in Srinagar. What is the message this sends out according to you, Gautam Mukherjee? And also, we have to see this along with the successful G20 summits hosting also by India, but also sub-events being hosted by Jammu and Kashmir locally, and also, the recent polls in J&K where we saw phenomenal turnout in various constituencies of Kashmir.
Well, Uday, there are various changes evident in Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, but very recently you've had a spate of terrorist incidents, and I think the Prime Minister wanted to show that it's business as usual. As Amit Raina pointed out, he not only inaugurated a lot of new projects in Jammu and Kashmir, but he stayed overnight and inaugurated this or held the International Day of Yoga in Kashmir this time. He has been doing this in various places and doing it in Kashmir soon after his third term goes into operation is a clear message that Kashmir is very much part of India and is making strong progress.
Yes, let me take that across to to Lieutenant General Kulkarni as well, because the fact is, Lieutenant General Kulkarni, this visit has come after a series of attacks as well in Jammu and Kashmir, predominantly in Jammu. After Prime Minister Narendra Modi took charge in this 3.0 term, we've seen Pakistan and its proxies deliberately orchestrate attacks. In fact, one attack took place on the evening of his swearing in as well. What do you make of these incidents, the timing of them, and the fact that these incidents could not sabotage the Prime Minister's visit and this, entire 48-hour exercise, which had, of course, Yoga Day celebrations as part of it, but also inauguration of development projects, most importantly, for Jammu and Kashmir as well, where once again, through these projects, we'll see the infrastructure further upgraded in the Union Territory.
Definitely. Uday, we have to give full marks to the Prime Minister for having taken yoga by his personal involvement to such great heights. You have an event in New York, then you have so many events at many places in India, and now at Srinagar, as what Amit said, connecting it to Patanjali and being able to convey to the world that here's something, health is a very, very important factor, and one of the factors in which a man can spend his life income and still not be able to do well. So this is something which he's been propagating, his personal involvement. I think full mark to it. And the second thing I would say, personal hygiene. The way he's gone about Swachhata is nothing but being able to convey that good living is part of it. And as regards terrorism is concerned, here's a man who stands catching the bull by the horn. He has not hesitated. He's been there. It is despite what may have happened. He has conveyed it loud and clear that he will not hesitate eradicating terrorism from the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And whoever is propagating it will get it back in the same coin without fail. So that kind of a messaging is very, very important. Besides that, he's been able to be there. Imagine he's there. And he keeps going there. The way he's gone about, you see the development that has taken place in Jammu and Kashmir, be it medical colleges, be it IITs, be it the management institutes, may they be degree colleges, not one or two, 50 of those degree colleges. Now, as you said, about 84 of these developmental projects, 90 of these other agricultural projects affecting all the 20 districts, the Nari Shakti that one hears about, the tourism, the skill. He has not left anything. He has left rather no stone unturned to ensure that the people of Jammu and Kashmir feel a part. The thankfulness with which he's gone about to say that, look, there were Valmikis who were not allowed to vote for so many years. The people who came from Pakistan were not allowed to vote, and they were deprived of their franchise being exercised. Here they have voted, and they are now part of it, and that has made a world of a difference to the people over there. Even we are giving the scheduled tribe status to the various categories. There's a lot that the government has done, and a lot that he could be able to go and speak with confidence to the people of Jammu and Kashmir, and they see for themselves. Here's a bridge which is 35 meters more than the Eiffel Tower. The train has done a trial run on it. So this shows that there has been an all-round development, and that all-round development, people are appreciating it. And here's the Prime Minister, irrespective of what it is, he decides to spend the night over there and be with them at Dal Lake. Of course, it started raining. He had to shift the venue for this. Irrespective of all that, the enthusiasm, the kind of ability to convey, be able to distribute about 2,000 government jobs and give them the appointment letters to the people over there. All this speaks volumes of the government's involvement, the government's commitment to the growth of Jammu and Kashmir, bringing the people closer, telling them that, well, with the Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee said about Jamhuriyat, Insaniyat, Kashmiriyat, all of it is being translated, all of it is being seen. I think it's a great thing. It's not easy catching the bull by the horn And terrorism, and we know that Pakistan, the hub of terrorism, uses terrorism as an instrument of state policy. Here he says it for himself that where are they? We will hunt them down. We will not leave them. And be careful. And this kind of a messaging, this kind of a feeling, this kind of empowerment, whether it is Nari Shakti, whether it is education, whether it is road, whether it is water, whether it's electricity, whether it's infrastructure, whether it is housing, whether it is broadening of the road, tunneling, so much being done over there. I think there cannot be a single man. 2 crore tourists. 2 crore. Is it a joke? 2 crore tourists to a place like this, that speaks volumes of what it must have done to the economy of J&K. So all this, I think, is gratefulness, and his going there and telling them, thank you for coming out in large numbers for electing and your representatives. Irrespective, of course, I think some people there elected, even I would say people who ought not to have been elected. But then, well, that's part of this thing. We also need to see as to what it is all about. But then, all said and done, I think the Prime Minister's messaging, Prime Minister's presence, celebrating the International Yoga Day in Srinagar with the people, and the development he sees with his own eyes. Because, a picture is worth 10,000 words. People can say whatever it is. When you go there and see for yourself everywhere, I think it's a huge thing over there. And full marks to the Prime Minister for his, taking yoga to such international level.
Yeah. SP Ved, come in here. This certainly wasn't an easy exercise to ensure such a event of this magnitude goes off, perfectly with the country's Prime Minister in attendance in Srinagar. But it was executed brilliantly, despite, of course, the adverse weather as well there this morning. What would you say of the messaging that has gone out because of it, the optics from a highly successful event, which, as I said earlier, was not just a localized one, but was one where the entire world was watching?
Good evening, Uday. I know I have, during my service, been handling Prime Minister's visit, and his coming to Kashmir is such a big responsibility, and in fact, sleepless nights for the police chief and other officers involved in the arrangements, and ensuring that the event passes off peacefully is absolutely a lot of satisfaction. As far as messaging is concerned, Prime Minister's with this visit had multi-layered messaging, both for people of Kashmir, his own countrymen, and international community. As far as Kashmir is concerned, he came with a message that here is a Prime Minister who wants you to take up your yoga has been your history. Yoga has been India's culture, and improve your health. I am here to ensure that you take up and ensure your life have not only the development part which he is pushing in Kashmir, but also look after your health. And that messaging is very clear. It has a historical connect, as Mr. Rana was saying, with Yoga, Kashmir, and Patanjali. At the same time, assuring his countrymen that don't worry, the whole effort from Pakistan to overturn the narrative that peace has returned after 370, what you are seeing in Rajouri Poonch and what you saw a few days back in 4 incidents in Jammu region is a failed effort from Pakistan just to have counter the narrative of peace returning to Kashmir, and it has actually. We all know how things have changed in Kashmir. The inauguration of various development schemes is in addition to. There's a message for people of Kashmir that I am here to look after your development part, and to the rest of the world, particularly Pakistan counterparts, watching that here is country looking after the development of Kashmir, you name it, the way Prime Minister is pushing it, medical colleges, IIT, you know all, I don't want to repeat that. And the most important of all that, as General Kulkarni said, the trial run of the railway highest bridge, there This has been our dream for many years to connect Kashmir with the rest of India. And I think with this successful trial, very soon this will become a reality. And I think very soon we'll see that train getting connected, flying between Delhi and Katra and Srinagar. So that messaging is very clear. International community, yes, the messaging is very clear. You know, Prime Minister's event is watched all over the world, and after G20 successful holding in Kashmir, now this is another major event, and Prime Minister is trying to send a message that look, Kashmir is fast returning to normalcy, and this is where we are holding our the most important event on the banks of the Dal Lake and the SKICC, which is the most important and most beautiful spot of Srinagar city. So this is what Prime Minister is trying to send a message. Staying overnight, reviewing with this Lieutenant Governor and other people he interacted with. I think he is conveying multi-layered messaging to everyone concerned, whether people of Kashmir, his countrymen, and an international community.
All right, let me in fact quickly take that across to Amit Raina once again. Now, Amit, now this visit is done and of course it's dusted. What must be the follow-up measures, Amit, to ensure that the situation remains like this, peaceful, to attract more tourists, to attract people, practitioners of yoga perhaps from the world over to Jammu and Kashmir? What must be the follow-up steps needed by the local administration there and of course the central government to ensure that the progress that we've made in the last few years continues and only gets exacerbated?
On the Vikram Samvat New Year this year, I had organized a program in Srinagar, which was attended by the Honorable Governor of Haryana. And we had local young children doing a yoga performance. Trust me, it was a surprise for me also, given the demographics of Kashmir. But I saw a huge number of kids doing fantastic yoga performances, which Governor Saab himself was quite astonished, and he went out of his way and gave them special recognition and even invited them to Haryana to participate in certain university programs. So on that front, I think the work is happening, and many things which we don't know or which we don't see, we believe is not happening. But on sports front, J&K is doing fantastic, and even on yoga front, it is doing fantastic. See, one thing which Prime Minister, I think, is trying to convey through this, through his continuous engagement with Jammu and Kashmir is that अगर आप देखें ना तो एक किसी देश की किस्मत या बनाता है या बिगाड़ता उसका युवा है. It's the youngsters who determine the future of the nation. And unfortunately, in Jammu and Kashmir, the youth for many years was misguided, was being misused for certain heinous practices or whatever we call them. Now, what I see Prime Minister doing is that I've seen Prime Minister, even in his last visit, which happened in March, he has been trying to connect with youth of Jammu and Kashmir. Even this day, yesterday, last evening when he met people, it was largely youth. This morning also, he interacted with youngsters. He's somewhere trying to.
In fact, that program yesterday evening was also, yes, about youth empowerment in particular.
Yes, so he's trying to take a role of a mentor of youth in Jammu and Kashmir, trying to keep them on the right track and trying to build confidence in them, trying to show them the right path. And with the slew of packages that has come in, he's also trying to create employment for Jammu and Kashmir, given that Kashmir Khaskar has a lot of investment in agriculture and agriculture-allied products. An 1,800 crore package obviously is going to benefit the local population and create more employment opportunities, create more revenue opportunities. So he wants to show them the better part of better things which can happen. keep them busy with employment generation, keep them busy with the progress, show them the progress. So I think the role of mentor which he has taken is very impressive. Now coming back to what needs to be done in Jammu and Kashmir, we need to understand that Pakistan will continue to foment trouble in Jammu and Kashmir till the Pakistan deep state exists, till the Pakistan itself exists. So we have to be two steps ahead of Pakistan and try to ensure that whatever happens, we are two steps ahead and we minimize the damage Pakistan plans to do. So whether it requires work on the international border, on further sealing and tightening up so that they don't move across the border or LOC. The second thing which needs to be worked, and I think is very critical right now, is the drugs trade which is happening in Kashmir, and it could lead to the narco terrorism, which could be worse form of terrorism that we have seen in Kashmir in the last 30 years. So we need to work very strongly on the drug menace that Jammu and Kashmir is seeing right now, and that needs to be effectively curtailed and curbed. Third is on infrastructure front, which is, I would say, on infrastructure front, largely only on the electricity fund, because if you're trying to attract investment, especially in the Jammu region, in forms of manufacturing industries, then you need to be a state where power supply is adequate so that industries don't feel curtailed because of power supply, or they have to use
Yes.
resources or generators which are too expensive and make manufacturing very expensive.
General Kulkarni, come in here on, on the security as well now, because that's something as well that we have to ensure remains as how it has, with the progress that we've managed to make in counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism operations on ground. However, Pakistan will not relent, and terror attacks have, of course, been seen this month, before, of course, the Amarnath Yatra, during, of course, the Vaishno Devi Yatra. What do you make of these incidents? How do we combat them? And how do we, of course, tackle the security challenge as well to ensure that that is, does not cast a shadow anymore as it has in the past on Jammu and Kashmir progress and tourism?
Rightly so. You'd have noticed that, these 4 incidents which took place obviously would have shaken the people, that how come these terrorists have come so deep in, and it's not just along the LOC, but as deep into Jammu and going up to Doda, things of those kinds. So just a week before the Amarnath Yatra, here's the Prime Minister who now visits and stays there, visiting like what DG Vaid was talking about. It's a huge amount of preparation which goes in for the visit of the Prime Minister. And the same momentum will now be carried till August, the end of August, till the Amarnath Yatra. So there's total alertness. It's kind of telling people, just don't worry. These are all aberrations which we will take care of and visit in large numbers. Now, about 1 crore of people visit Vaishno Mata. About 2 crore people have visited the valley. Lakhs of people are going to be a part of Amarnath Yatra, which is again going to boost tourism, is going to boost trade, is going to be, reviving the economy, is going to give a boost to the J&K economy. So there's a lot that happens by just being able to have peace and tranquility in the state and being able to say that these kind of things we will look after. And sure enough, that is what exactly the government will be doing. Whether it is until and unless you win the hearts and minds of the people there, because ultimately, whatever it be, there are certain amount of elements within the state which seem to be acting as, sleeper cells or acting as the OGWs which allow these kind of things to happen. When they get also very clear, look, the state now seems absolutely ready to catch bull by the horn, and they will not leave anybody. They will leave no stone unturned to ensure that these people are going to get eradicated irrespective of the consequences that may follow. So once this is done, you will find lots of people coming and joining in Amarnath Yatra, and I'm 100% positive that the Yatra will be very, very peaceful. People will all enjoy going there, and at a time when heat, climatically also you find the entire world is undergoing such crisis of heat. Here's a place, Jammu, as a paradise, and J&K is a paradise. Everybody will be visiting Jammu and Kashmir only to enjoy the cool climatic conditions. I personally feel this is a forerunner for things to happen good. And the state of J&K is the biggest beneficiary. They themselves feel that now everybody is going. You have the Home Minister visit there. You have the Prime Minister go and stay there. You have the governor, such an active governor who's going all over, ensuring things are in place. You have all of the security forces, synergy that would have taken place if there was some loopholes found between being able to activate all the instruments of security over there, you'll find everybody would have now joined hands to ensure, well, look, the Prime Minister has come a week before the Amarnath Yatra is going to start. And now here we are, and we now got to build up on this kind of security infrastructure, which we've already done. So I personally feel it's a win-win situation for the country. And for the Prime Minister himself to be able to say, Uday, we all know in school we were always told health is wealth. We never bothered about it till you have gone old and you realize what health is wealth about. Everybody said cleanliness is godliness. Here's a man leading from the front, telling everybody, come on, good health, do yoga, come on, stay clean, ensure your areas are neat and clean. What better thing than to have a person as a Prime Minister of the country leading from the front, conveying it to the people concerned.
Absolutely.
And I think
he certainly led from the front, SP Ved. This says a lot, as I said, to everyone abroad about the situation on ground. But this, what has led to this change of approach? Was it a mental shift that was needed? Was it an administrative shift that was needed? Was it more decisiveness that was needed? Because, we are seeing so much of progress and so much of change in this Naya Jammu and Kashmir, as the government, of course, is calling it. Why didn't this happen earlier? Many are asking. SP Ved.
Yes, this personal touch was lacking earlier. I had been in the state for the last 35 years. This personal touch which we are seeing, I saw the Prime Minister during his last election rallies, both in Srinagar and Jammu, how he connected with the Lakhpati Didis in each district, talking to young boys, taking to agricultural sectors, private entrepreneurship, how he was talking to them individually, encouraging them. And this is what you saw yesterday also and today morning, empowering youth, how he is personally, as Amit was saying, mentoring young boys. In fact, these are the young boys who are being shown alternate good health, cleanliness, and alternative avenues, earning good money. Earlier, last 35 years, Pakistan was exploiting these youth. Hurriyat was calling for bans, closures, hartals, and ruining their careers. And we have lost already so many generations, so many young boys, their careers. And this is what I think Prime Minister is focusing. And aided with strong response from the security forces, good control of the border, LOC and IB, I think we should be able to transform Kashmir, and that's what Prime Minister is focused.
Yes. All right. Well, we are going to leave it at that. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us. We've run out of time.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.